one of the very interesting topics of creative writing. Actually, all are interesting like that, but yeah, this is way more interesting because you have to describe. You have to describe a person, you have been asked to describe a place, maybe an event, maybe a thing. So you have a lot of practice of adjectives here. Yes, you know, describing words are adjectives. So you have to, you know, describe at a very appropriate level. Let's go ahead and watch what all you are going to learn today. So what is a descriptive paragraph? What is the format? How do you actually go about it? See, creative writing is all about format for which you score your marks. So yeah, marking scheme, you will know how you are graded. So accordingly, you have to write the sample descriptive paragraph. You will be, now here we are describing a person, place, event and a thing. So you have a sample of each one of them, and of course then you have your practice questions to make you perfect. So yeah, let's move on. What is a descriptive paragraph? Now, a factual description, it's a factual description as in fact, okay, is a writing task that describes a person, place, thing, or explains a process in a matter of fact way. So, as a matter of fact, this, you know, whatever the facts are, see, like it's given a factual description. So, you are going to describe a person, you're going to describe a place, you're going to describe a thing and maybe an event. It is systematic and logical. You have to keep your logics really good. We'll see as we move on. It is a collection of related sentences dealing with a single topic. Whatever the topic, you are going to stick around that. Such a writing task is essentially sequential and directional, proceeding from one point to the other in a fixed direction. Now here, because you are talking, your focus is just on one thing. Now for example, if it's about the person, so anything and everything pertaining to the person, you are going to talk. You're going to make sure that it is sequential. Now you will not talk about him, you know, it depends on the question. So you, like, I'll just give an example. You won't first talk about his youth and then talk about his childhood, or you have to be in a proper sequence. I'll tell you when the question comes, right? And we have to move in the same direction. It's a fixed direction. The description could be about a person, place, object, or an event. So let's see how we go about. Now, the factual description is arranged as follows. Still to tell you how. Now remember, this is one paragraph. So it's a topic sentence, supporting details and closing sentence. It's not first para, second para, third para. It is just one paragraph. Topic sentence is the first sentence. It introduces the main idea of the paragraph. Supporting details, these come after the topic sentence, making up the body of the description. They give details to develop and support the main idea. The main idea was the one that was given to you in the very first opening line, yeah, in the topic sentence. And then you tend to, of course, close the paragraph. So this is the last sentence or the last amount of sentences that you write. It restates the main idea and sums up. You put it all together, the thoughts using different words. See, maybe you might find this a little not able to understand, maybe you're not able to comprehend, but don't you worry. Here we have the sample for which you will understand. Now first, let's see how, or you're going to do it on the basis of what. Now, here you are talking first about a place. So if you have been asked to describe a place, how will you go about? So once you have this in your mind, you have the format in your mind, then framing your paragraph is not going to be difficult at all. Yeah. So let's get this really well. Location aspects and spatial description are important in this type of description. For example, you have to use words like in the southeast corner, in front of, beyond, adjacent to, etc. You have to give the location. So is it in the southeast corner, or is it in the southwest? Is it in front of some building? Is it, adjacent to some building, to some hospital, to some garden, whatever. you have to give the proper location. Where exactly? The spatial description. Now, spatial means north, south, east, west. You have to give that description. Then your description should be factual with focus on specific features. Like, if you are describing Kashmir, you can write about the mighty mountains, the weather, the cuisines, etc. Now, obviously, you will talk about, you're going to focus on the specific features. Now, if you're talking of Kashmir, you will talk everything in and about Kashmir, right? You will definitely talk about the snow, the winters, the flowers, the fruits that they grow, the apples, right? You'll talk about the weather, the different cuisines, the boat houses, all that you're going to talk because you're talking of Kashmir. So everything pertaining to that, your focus is on one thing. So which are the value points for factual description of a place? Now all these you can cover up, right? If you cover up, you're done, you're sorted. The name, the historicity, if it has a history about that place, the importance of that place, atmosphere, uniqueness, how unique is that place, what is the purpose, what is the location aspects, the spatial relation, the sight, the sound, and any other point. So when you are talking about a place, you are going to cover up all these aspects. Yeah, once you have got this into consideration, so when you start thinking about it, you will take these points into consideration and then first roughly make your skeleton and then frame your paragraph. That will really help you. Like, it helps you save your time and fetch more marks, right? So I'm sure that's clear. Now, it is when you are talking about a person. So what all are you going to consider? Mention the physical features of the person, that is the build, the height, the complexion, the facial features, eyes, nose, hair, dress, whatever is visible to your eyes, yeah, the physical features. That all you will write about the person. Note the person's habits, yeah. So depending on your question, see, when you get to know the question, you will understand this better. So you will note down his habits. Remember the context and the purpose of the description. Why are you doing it? What has been mentioned in the question? This is because there is a lot of difference in the way you describe yourself to a friend and the way you give a description in a job application. Now, why they are saying check your focus, check the purpose. Why? Now, for example, if you are describing, to a friend, the way you will describe will be different. Whereas, if you are giving your description in a job application, obviously, you are going to be way formal. You are not going to be as casual as a friend, right? So that matters. You have to keep that in mind. Now, which are the value points for factual description of a person? The name, the physical appearance, the nature of the person, the habit of the person, opinion of others about him or her. That's talking about a person. Now, if you are talking about an object, define the object by including its name, class, and its distinguishing features. Whatever you are talking about, if you are talking about probably a certain, let's talk about a dress. Okay, maybe it's some particular XYZ brand. So yeah, you will talk about the name, you will talk about the brand, class, as in here we will talk about the brand and its distinguishing features, maybe the embroidery, the bright colors, the fit of the dress, all that. Describe the various parts of the object. This will depend upon the particular object. Adhere to a particular sequence while you describe the various parts of an object. Now, if I'm talking of the dress, I can say it's a free-flowing thing. It has a dupatta. I will talk about the various parts of it. It has probably a narrow pant, So all about it. Again, it all depends on your object. And what are the value points for the factual description? So you will have the name of the object. It's a dress or it's a, robe or whatever. Cost, class, internal working about machinery, whatever it has been made up with, the brand name if necessary, if required, external features or design, texture, color, functions or use, structure, differentiating features, any other relevant point. See, these are not the only points. If you cover these points, great. Your paragraph is done. You are sorted with it. But if you feel there is still, according to the topic, there may be any other relevant point, probably. So you can add that as well. It's not that you have to use only these. If something out of this is not being really very clear, you can put up something that comes your way. So that's never an issue. Yeah. So you can always do that. Now, let's talk about a sample thing. Your brother is going to Chennai to write an entrance exam. You have requested your friend to meet him at the railway station and arrange accommodation for him. As your brother has not seen your friend, give a detailed factual description of your friend in 125 to 150 words so that your brother can recognize him easily. You are Purvi or Amit. Okay, so now you see your brother is going, he's going to Chennai for an exam, and he has not basically seen your friend. So you are trying to describe your friend to your brother in 125 to 150 words. So here we are describing a person. Okay, so here's your descriptive paragraph. Description of D. Venkat, that's the person you are describing. My friend Venkat is a 20-year-old college student of height 170 centimeters. He is lean in build, thin, with a handlebar mustache. Now the mustache has a handlebar shape, which is his main facial feature distinguishing him from others. So that's the most oddest or the strangest or the unique thing that you will find on his face. Venkat is fluent in Hindi as he lived in Delhi in his childhood. He always wears spotlessly clean white shirt and white trousers, which should enable you to spot him on the station platform. Yeah, now this is an additional feature. First he talks about he's thin, then he says he has that mustache which makes him unique, then he's talking about his clothes. So you see he's following a particular sequence. In addition, he always wears sandals without any socks. He is generally having a vermilion tikka on his forehead. He has that, that particular thing that they wear in Chennai, which is another distinguishing feature. His nose is rather long and he has keen blue eyes. His jet black, well-oiled hair is parted in the middle. So that also is one of the features you can recognize the person. He is a very enthusiastic person, being an optimist, and you will enjoy spending time with him. By Amit. Remember the question said you are Purvi or Amit. So here you see the flow, the sequence. They have spoken about, he started that he's 20 years, he's young, he's thin, he spoke about the mustache, and then he spoke about his clothes, he spoke what he speaks, the language. So you see everything is going in a particular sequence. It's very logical. So because he's in Delhi, he knows Hindi. Because he's in Chennai, he has that vermilion tikka. So all of that. Yeah. So you see this is explained so very well that you are covering all the distinguishing features. Yeah. You are talking about everything, the name, the age, the whole physical feature description, everything. Particular sandals without socks, the well-oiled hair, everything has been spoken. So the next time when you are doing it right now, when you will soon be writing for sample, please make sure you refer to this and you write your own. Okay, let's move further. Now here you are describing last week the newly built auditorium of your school was inaugurated. As Malini or Manoj, the head boy or girl of the school, write a factual description of the auditorium in 125 to 150 words. So now here we are describing the place. So let's see. New auditorium for school. After all the waiting, finally we have the new auditorium for the school. It is a marvel of modern facilities with video conferencing arrangement, electronic projection, movable whiteboards and cushioned seats. The whole physical feature part of it. A split air conditioner completes the comforts provided. See the way it's given. Please read the words, the sentence, how they have been framed. A split air conditioner. Now, what we'll say, it also has a split air conditioner. But see the way it's given. A split air conditioner completes the comforts provided. It adds to the comforts. It has a capacity of 750 seats, more than adequate for the school's requirements. It even has 2 green rooms for drama artists to change clothes before and after the enaction of plays. A public address system with movable and fixed microphones is part of the facilities. The video conferencing arrangement is helpful for senior students as they are able to attend a web telecast by overseas and Indian TV channels or academic institutions on topics which will help them to be successful in competitive examinations. Yes, now this whole feature that has been the video conferencing, they have actually described to you how it is all done, how it has been put up and what is the purpose. Yeah, so for the examinations, so that they can have a web telecast as well. Such a facility is not available in any school in our city. Thus, it was worth waiting for such a high-tech auditorium. Now, after we have read this, do you feel anything missing? See, it's very logical. It's talking about everything that an auditorium really requires. The green room, the video conferencing, the seats, the microphones, for the web telecast, whatever they need, all the appropriate things, everything is there. Every possible thing. So it is very logical because you're focusing totally only on the auditorium, right? Nothing of the school you are mentioning here. Your focus is the auditorium. Here the purpose is also being given to us. So it's a complete, perfect description. Now this is the description of a place, and of course by Malini or Manoj, so it's by Malini here. And you were one of the volunteers who donated blood at the blood donation camp organized by the Red Cross Society in your school. Write a description about your experience and feelings while donating blood. Now what are we describing? Yes, we are describing an event. Alright, so you spoke about the place, right? Then you spoke about the person, and now we are talking about an event. So that's your blood donation. The Red Cross Society had organized a blood donation camp at our school. Banners all around proclaimed the importance of the blood donation. One such banner read, "Blood donation can save a precious life." After reading it, I got motivated and started telling everybody about it. Our science teacher informed us that blood cells are replenished every 3 months. Every 3 months you get a new set. They are replaced. I thought it would be a real service to humanity. The doctors first checked my blood group, which was B positive. I was asked to lie down on a bed. Then they punctured my skin. With the needle of a syringe and collected my blood in a bottle. I was then given a glass of milk, an egg, and an apple. I felt that my noble act was a step in the right direction. It was a silent service to suffering humanity. I resolved to donate blood regularly. Now this is by Ananya. Check the sequence. Check how it all started. He went for the blood donation. He read the banner. There were banners. He read one particular banner. He got motivated. The science teacher gave them additional information. And then he went, he realized that yes, we should do this. So he went in, they punctured, they removed the blood. They gave him something to eat so that he doesn't feel fainting, dizzy types. And then he realized that, okay, this is what I have done is something very good. For people who really need blood, I am there to save a life. And then he makes up his mind that I am going to do it on regular basis. Now that does not mean daily, but yeah, you can give it after 3 months, I guess, 3 to 6 months. And this is by Ananya. So you see, it's an event. You described it. You went in sequence. It was very logical. And the whole thing is done. So when I read this to you, didn't you feel it's a very complete description? Yes, it is. Right? So this is how we are supposed to frame an event. Now, it's time for you to take over. You are Sophie or Mark, who was enjoying Christmas holidays at his or her home when a disastrous earthquake rocked the area. Describe the havoc caused by the earthquake in about 150 words. Event. You are going to describe everything pertaining to earthquake. So what I'd suggest is, first, look for the vocabulary of earthquake. Just read anything on earthquake. You will get all the details. You will get some description. Then you frame your very own. And of course, as per the format given to you, you will be sorted. See, initially, please attempt all this. Take some pain. Then you will realize your gain. I'm telling you, first get the hang of it and then get confident with yourself that yes, I'm done. Give yourself practice on maybe every alternate day, weekends. Please spend more time in creative writing. The parks are not only useful for children, adults and the old, but are environment friendly. Write a factual description in about 100 to 125 words of the neighborhood park you often visit. So anything and everything pertaining to the park, you're describing a place. Yes, lots for you to practice. Make sure you do it the way it has been mentioned to you. Description begins in the writer's imagination, but should finish in the reader's. So beautifully said by Stephen King. The imagination first, it's you are writing. So your imagination you are describing, you're putting down what you are imagining. When as a reader I read it, I start imagining what you have penned down. So you see, there's the shift. It shifts from the reader's imagination, from the writer's imagination to the reader's imagination. Wow, that's wonderful. I hope you really keep imagining out of the box. Use rich vocabulary. Please use good phrases and idioms, and please give a sophisticated writing. Let your product be really sophisticated, just like the way you have been taught. For more such lessons, keep watching and keep learning.